Hey there, Bruins fans! Welcome back to BNG Hockey, where it's always black and gold. One of the NHL's craziest times of the year is upon us once again, July 1st, the start of free agency. Things are slowing down a little bit right now. There's still some big names out there. The Bruins could be in on them. I don't know if they have the cap space. Trades could always be made, so you never know. But as of right now, I thought it would be safe to give you an update on all of today's news for the Boston Bruins. I figured we'd start off with the players leaving the Bruins. First off, we lose Noel Accari. He's going to the Florida Panthers on a 3-year contract with an average annual salary of $1.6 million, total of $5 million overall. He was a great player for the Boston Bruins last season. On that fourth line with Corrali, Wagner, and Nordstrom, a mix of all of them were matching up against top lines. A lot of the time they would start off periods for Bruce Cassidy and the Bruins. Big players, great plus minuses, especially against top guys, helped chip in goals when it really mattered, sacrificed the body, was a big hitter. Noel Accari was constantly putting the body every shift he would hit someone, it seemed like. Last season, in 72 games with the Boston Bruins, he scored 6 goals, 8 assists for a total of 14 points. In 19 playoff games, he had 2 goals and 2 assists. The Bruins are definitely going to miss him, but don't worry, a replacement is on the way. The second player leaving the organization is Providence captain Jordan Szwarz. He's going to the Ottawa Senators on a 1-year, 2-way deal for $800,000. Last season, he scored 46 points in 68 games and was an AHL All-Star. Now let's talk about the players who are going to be putting on the black and gold next season. The first player I'm really excited about, it's forward Brett Ritchie. He signed a 1-year, $1 million contract. He turned 26 today. Last season with the Dallas Stars, he played 53 games, scoring a total of 4 goals, 2 assists, total of 6 points. Now, before you freak out about the stats, you should know 2 seasons ago he did score 16 goals. In 241 career games, he has 33 goals, 21 assists for a total of 54 points. That's not bad, especially for a guy that you're only paying $1 million to. Now, where does he fit into the Bruins lineup? Well, for starters, he's your Noel Accari replacement. He's going to be physical, just like Noel. Hits on every single shift, and at 6'4", he gives you that size. Bruins talked about how they needed that size after they got dominated physically against the St. Louis Blues in the Cup final. Speaking of which, after you watch this video, make sure you go check out Brett Ritchie against Colton Parayko. He fought the monster defenseman on the back end for the Blues and got more than his fair share of punches in. He also fought Tom Wilson, so that shows you he's not afraid to drop the gloves. There's not as much fighting in today's NHL, but it does matter. It shows that he has heart, and this guy is gonna be a good Bruin. At 6'4", he gives you that size. He actually played quite a few power play minutes for the Dallas Stars, just sticking him in front of the net. He got those easy tap-in goals or little redirects in front, or if nothing else, he screens the goalie for Marchand and Pasternak. So maybe the Bruins try that. I think he could slide up and down. I could see him playing with Coyle, that's 2 big bodies, or he'd probably rotate on the fourth line for Wagner and Nordstrom and him, much like Accari did. Some sit, some don't. Just a good depth piece for the Bruins, and at $1 million in 1 year, it shows you if it doesn't work out, he's gone next year and you didn't lose a ton of money. The next contract, I think, is a great deal for the Boston Bruins, and I'm also pretty excited about. They extend the contract of defenseman Conor Clifton. He's still signed 1 more year at $725,000, but then he has 3 years added on to that, making $1 million each year. Last season, he stepped up big for the Boston Bruins. In 18 playoff games, he had 2 goals and 3 assists for a total of 5 points. On the back end, not playing that many minutes, third pair minutes. He's only 24. 19 games last season. During the regular season, he only had 1 assist, so the stats aren't crazy, but he was finding his way and kind of really came out of nowhere, so that's not really a surprise. I think if the Bruins decide to move a defenseman like a John Moore, more likely a Kevin Miller, that Conor Clifton would fill in on the right side. He plays physical. He brings a good amount of speed. I would like to see them move Miller so that they can get that $2 million cap space back. And now you have Clifton, like I said, signed for under $1 million this year and then only $1 million for the next 3 years. That's a really good deal because if he plays this season and plays a lot more than he did last year, his number might go up to $2 million, maybe even $3 million based on his stats. You never really know what he's going to ask for, but if you like the player, you might as well extend him now at a low cost, high reward. Next up, we have forward Brendan Gaunce. He is a 6'2 center, originally played with the Vancouver Canucks. Now he's a Boston Bruins, signing a 1-year deal at $700K. Last season in 3 games, he had 3 points, a goal, and 2 assists. He's been up and down NHL, AHL throughout his career, though. He's only 25 years old, originally a first-round pick, 26 overall in 2012. In 116 games, he has 6 goals, 9 assists for a total of 15 points. So the stats aren't that great. But he's one of those guys that should be good, and maybe a change of scenery will help him. I feel like Vancouver tries him out, gets tired of him, sends him down, and that's not good for a player's confidence. Like last season, he had 3 points in 3 games. What's wrong with that? And then they send him down. That really hurts a player's confidence if they've been doing this to him since he was drafted. So I think he has a great opportunity here. Another guy, only 1 year. If it doesn't work out, he's gone. And it's only a one-way contract, so he's only making $7K if he's playing in the NHL. It's like $300K if he goes to Providence. So this is a great signing for the Bruins, and I think it has some potential upside. Next up is forward Lindholm. We signed him to a 2-year deal at $850,000. He was a rookie last season, played for the Toronto Maple Leafs, was traded to the Winnipeg Jets at the trade deadline. This is an interesting one for the Bruins. He played 65 games in his first season, had a goal and 12 assists. He was playing in the Swedish Hockey League before that. He had 47 points in 49 games the season before he came to the NHL. So he could score then. He had a great year, and he couldn't really translate that scoring ability to the NHL. Maybe in year 2 with the Bruins, he gets that chance. Kind of confused here with all the depth guys for the Bruins. I don't know where these guys are going to play. Some of them will end up in the AHL, but you know, it's good competition for your younger guys saying that, hey, you got to battle your way in here. Your Studnikas of the world aren't just going to be inserted right in. It gives you that competition for your guys who were here last year, your Nordstroms, your Wagners. So I kind of like it. They also re-signed Providence forward Ryan Fitzgerald. He's a local boy from North Reading, Massachusetts. He also went to BC. In 3 seasons with the Providence Bruins, he scored 30 goals, 46 assists, for a total of 76 points. Last season, he was an AHL All-Star. The final 2 signings are nothing too exciting. They do get a goaltender in Maxim Lapierre from the Vegas Golden Knights. He's 26 years old. It's a 2-way deal at $700K. He does have 17 games of NHL experience under his belt, in which he is 6-8-1, with a goals against average of 3.92 and a save percentage of .868. So the stats are not that great, but he's going to give competition for Providence for guys like McIntyre, Vladar, and Kaiser, and if something does happen to Tuukka Rask or Yaroslav Halak, he's probably your first call up. He was in that mix when Vegas went through all those goalies in their first season. They went through like 7 goaltenders. He was one of those guys, and he didn't look terrible, so it just gives them depth at the position, and that's something they were looking to grab heading into free agency. The final signing is depth defenseman Josiah Demers. He's a 26-year-old right-shot defenseman who played for the Calder Cup winning Charlotte Checkers last season. In 41 games with them, he scored 2 goals and 8 assists. Not bad. Providence doesn't have a lot of right-shot defensemen. Most of the Bruins' young prospects are left shots, so it just gives you a veteran who's won in the AHL before to lead that team who just lost their captain. Without signing their RFAs, the Bruins don't really know what their cap hit's going to look like, so they got a group of cheap players and said we're going to find someone who can play. I like the Gaunce signing. I like the Ritchie signing. We'll see if Lindholm can have a great second year. There's been a lot of craziness today, as there usually is, so feel free to let me know down below what you thought about the Bruins moves, what you thought about Artemi Panarin going to the Rangers, or Bobrovsky going to the Panthers, or the Sebastian Aho offer sheet, any of that, fair game. Feel free to leave it down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big like, and if you haven't already, subscribe.